Yes. Okay, so we're live. Yeah, all right. Welcome to the show. It's Thursday night. It's not our normal night, but we're doing something fun and exciting tonight. We have a special guest. He's been on with us before, and then we have another special guest that's been on with us before, but we're going to have them both together, which is going to be really cool. So tonight's episode number 7. You're watching the All Over Overland show. I'm Lee. Michael, the actual All Over Overland guy, is coming up in just a second. And I'd like to, real quick, before we go too far, thank our sponsors, the MOORE Expo. Tickets are on sale, mooreexpo.com. That's April 8th, 9th, and 10th. It is one kick butt indoor, now it's even outdoor combination expo here in the Midwest, and it's huge. We can't wait. It's coming up, and I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. So Overland Addict, our buddy Chad, thank you, Chad, for everything you do, and we appreciate it very much. Prinsu Designs and CBI Off-Road, thank you very much for all that you do. And tonight, I'd like to also thank Midland Radios. And that leads me to Mr. Michael Hyde.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Hey, Lee, what's going on?
Brother, I am doing well. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little lethargic and tired. I didn't get to bed till 3 o'clock this morning, and then I was back up at like 5:30. But it's going great, man. I mean, we're going to have a good time tonight. This will be fun.
Yeah, right on. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get to talk about a couple of radios. We got the green light to say couple instead of one. Yeah,
we did kind of get the, can't show much. Well, I mean, I guess technically.
Well, we can just, it's not released to the public yet, but.
Exactly.
But there are a couple of sample radios out there for.
Yeah. So, anything new and exciting with you real quick?
It's just been snowy here. Just been home.
Yeah, it's kind of cold and snowy. And one of these guys that we're going to talk to tonight actually is out on his way to snow camping.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous because I want to go too. But before we start bringing them in, let's real quick go to a commercial break and for one of our sponsors, the MOORE Expo, and we'll be right back. Dude, I got a question.
It just looks fun.
I got a question.
What?
How come we're not in that video? I mean, really? Have you thought about that?
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for it to just gnaw at you a little bit.
Apparently, you and I do not rank high enough on the food chain to make it into the promo video. I'm teasing. Anyway, so, hey, let's bring on our first couple of should we bring them both on or just one at a time? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Want to bring them both on? All right.
We're only going to have Chris for a little while.
Should we do it in a matter of importance?
Whatever you feel.
I say, see?
Number 1, number 2. Number 1, number 2.
Welcome, guys. Hey.
Thanks for the kind introduction. Love it, as usual.
Yeah.
And we got
Zach, we've got Chris.
And Chris.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Lee. Good to see you guys again.
It is so good to have you guys on again. And as always, Chris, we love having you on.
It's funny, their roles have reversed. Now we've got Zach inside of a home, and we've got Chris in a vehicle.
Last time it was just the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually Zach, we have Chris in a house and Zach in a vehicle, getting chauffeured around. So we got a lot to talk about. For one, let's start, since we've got Chris with us, let's get into the partnership that you guys have come up with for the S'more to More run. And Chris, tell us a little bit about what that's going to be.
Yeah, because I don't even know.
So the S'more to More originally was the S'more to More route, and it was a big success. Everybody loved it. The first year, it was fantastic, and then second year we had so many people enter. Unfortunately, we had to cancel due to the ice storm, but there were enough people registered that convoys in this guided route were going to be 40, 50 rigs deep. And as the show grows and we expand on MOORE Expo, the S'more to More route was going to grow. And you couldn't imagine how awful convoying in a rig, a 50 vehicle convoy would be. So it was time, with any kind of growth, it's time for change. And I had some great influencers got to me and said, hey, let's change this. We want to make it a rally instead of a guided route. And by rally, I mean something that's not really seen very often in our industry. You hear of a rally and it's a get together or something like that, or it's still a convoy. This is a legitimate, you get a rally book and you have clues and you have challenges that you need to complete. It maps you through the southern part of Missouri and brings you from Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch up to the MOORE Expo. So the change in this had a lot of things that were hard to manage, and we really needed a strong partner to be able to pull this off. So I was in communications with Midland already. They're one of the sponsors of radios for all of our MOORE vehicles, and then they also are the communication sponsor and the people responsible for us making sure the MOORE Expo is good. We have all their business radios that all of my staff uses. So we approached Midland Radio and said, hey, what do you think about this idea? If it's cool, let's run with it. And Midland Radio jumped in 100% on board. Dan, one of the owners of Midland, actually is an old rally racer guy and used to do it in MG sports cars. So the meeting with Midland just went smashingly, and we were able to come up with a really cool idea. And with their support, now I'm able to grow this thing into much more than just a convoy. Now it's fun. It's a challenge. You can fill out the rally books and you can win these prizes, and you get to walk away with just amazing stories and things, and I'm just ecstatic about it. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Now, Zach, I think we need to make sure there's bonus points if the people competing in this rally have Midland radios.
Oh yeah, I'm totally on board for that. Yeah, no, I can tell you, Chris, we're so excited. And getting to meet you a couple weeks ago and go through all this stuff, it's going to be a great time. We're bringing, I think 12 people or more to come help man the booth at the MOORE Expo, to be at S'more helping out. And it's just fully aligned with everything we've been trying to do at Midland. And so to have a guy like Chris, who's local right here in KC with us, putting together this incredible expo, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better situation. So yeah, thrilled to be there this year. I know we were there last year and probably the year before, but excited to be a sponsor this time and to bring the full Midland crew out to help support.
That's awesome. It's been fun to watch what Chris has done with this and how it's grown, and just the staple it's going to be in the community as a must go to event, especially in this area. But you're getting people from all over because you got that map that showed you where everybody was coming from, and it was crazy how far people were coming. So good job on doing that, and then getting Midland to get on with you to help out with this rally. I think it's going to be an interesting way to do it. I think it's going to be a fun way to do it, and there's going to be like challenges along the way, correct?
Yeah. So I don't want to spill the beans on anything because I want to keep it
people a
surprise. But just for example, there could be some fun stuff like there's an old car on the north side of the road. It doesn't have a hood, and there's a tree growing through it. Name the manufacturer. Okay, you write it down. It's a Mustang, Ford Mustang, whatever it is. Cool. Off you go, and then maybe you pull up to a spot and we've got a sign that says, hey, radio in on channel 3 and you'll get a do we lose Lee?
Radio he's back. He's there. 3, he's just working on other stuff,
pushing buttons.
Yeah.
And you radio in, and we'll give you a code. A Midland representative will catch you on the mic, get your car number, get your mileage, and send you on your way, and off you go to the next one. And then you could approach a 4-way stop, and we don't want to make it overly difficult, but it just may say proceed north, so you got to be able to know which way is north. So things like that. We want to make the event accessible to everybody, but there will be some incentive to do well and pay attention and write things down as you go the correct speeds. Whoever, we know exactly how many miles it's going to be. There's actually 2 routes, so we know exactly how many miles each route should be. And if you miss a turn and you got to go a quarter mile to go turn around and come back and take the left, you're going to be a quarter mile off, and we'll know it. So it's cool. You just got to be right on cue the entire time.
So now there's going to be a spot where they radio in.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I want to work out a way that we can get that information over to me sitting at the booth, at the radio booth, and I go live and say, Team Bravo 49er is at the blah, blah, blah stop at 175 or whatever it is, however it is that they call in, but a way that we can kind of make it feel like the race is happening right then. And there'll be people walking or listening that, are going to be like, oh, I was just there. I just did that earlier this morning. I'm ahead of them.
That'd be cool. Yeah. It'd be fun to set up some remote live streams and catch people coming through.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
What I love about it is having the 2 routes. When we hand you a rally book, you're not going to know which route you got. And they crisscross and they follow the same route for a mile or 2. Yeah. And then they'll break off.
People are going to not pay attention.
So you could get complacent and start following start following the forerunner in front of you, thinking that you're nailing it when really you're completely on the wrong route. So you got to pay attention to the book and watch how it's done. I'm stoked. There's a bunch of information on the MOORE Expo website under the S2M Overland Rally tab. And that should lay it all out. We've got more videos, how-tos coming out on this stuff. So nobody should feel intimidated by it by any means. It's just supposed to be fun, but if you get competitive and really grind it, I think you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll walk away with some really cool stuff.
So now you're rocking Midland, right?
Oh yeah, right here, buddy.
So which one do you have?
I've got the MXT 400 in the Lexus.
Right on.
Actually, my JK's got the MXT 400 as well.
Very cool. Yeah, I I had the 275, and then after we had Zach on, he was telling everybody, "Hey, I'm going to send you guys some radios," and I got the one that's not released yet. I got the 575, but Lee got the 500, and both of us agree that the sound quality is amazing.
Oh, they're fantastic. I've been using mine. I've been on the road for 2 hours. I'm down by Springfield right now, on my way to a super top secret camp spot. But me and my vehicle next to me, we've been communicating the whole way down. And there for a while, I think we were 10 or 12 miles apart. He stopped for gas and then jumped back in, and we were able to rendezvous down here in Marshfield pretty easy.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Hey, Chris, I do have to show you, in honor of Springfield, I've got my Buc-ee's. I've got a Buc-ee's shirt on.
Nice. I have some Buc-ee stuff in here somewhere from.
Yeah, you guys are getting a Buc-ee's. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, I say you guys. You're not from there. But the expo will be there. So the expo, when you roll in, you'll be able to get a Buc-ee's something probably. They might not be open by then. I don't know what their date is. Anyway,
all I know is I'm ready for it to get here. I hate to wish my days and time away, but honestly, and Chris is probably not ready for it to get here just yet. He's got a few more things to do, but I'm really ready for this expo to get here. I want to go live like 45 times this year, and I want to have twice as many, first time. You heard it here firsts.
Yeah. Breaking news, all that kind of stuff. So Lee, talk to Zach a little bit about your impressions of the 500 as you got it out of the box, and as you hooked it up and you started listening to it, because this one is available for sale. You can go to the website now and grab it. So tell them what you thought about it when you got it out.
So great thing is this mounts right into where the 400, the same mount. So I didn't have to change out a mount or anything like that. But it feels a little heavier, like more solid. I won't say heavy, like a lot, but it just feels a little more solid. But I got to tell you, I like the changing color displays, and I got to say that I just stuck with the blue because it seems to be the best color out of all the other colors that you can do. But it's just clear. I was shocked at how much more clear the sound was. And like I had told you before we came on the air, the quarry is about 8 miles as the crow flies from my house, and there's some guys over there that were running it. So I turned it on and started the scan, and it scanned through and picked up some of them talking. And so I just reached out to see if they could hear me, and they heard me fine. And but when they transmitted back, I was like, golly, it's just the tone of it is a little deeper than the previous radio, and I liked it. I really did. So I'm happy. I will say that it's the best one I've had out of all the Midland radios I've had. It's the best one so far. I really like it. I think you guys got a winner, and you got the fast charge USB-C on here, which so many devices are changing over to this USB-C. So it's just a bonus. It really is.
Well, good. Yeah, we're aiming it to make it the best Midland radio, and I agree with you. I like it better than all the other ones, and especially the user interface and how easy it is to use. Like to the menu, you hit the menu and then you go through everything with that one button, and it's almost like an iPhone. Like you just have that one button, you click, and you can do all your stuff, scroll through it. And a lot of other radios, even our radios, can be hard to use, but. I know a lot of the GMRS expert radios, you've got all those buttons on the microphone, the programming you need, like, a master's degree in engineering to figure out. And, this one, just super intuitive, scroll right through to everything you need. And Chris, I was going to say, I'm going to have to, next time I see you, I'll get you a couple 500 so we can upgrade you. They do go right into the bracket for the 400. You'll get a little more range. And I think you'll like the interface better. The one...
I love the 400 so much. Like I haven't even. Usually, I want the latest and greatest, but I can honestly say I'm actually pretty complacent with this one. So, I don't know how you guys could have done it better, but by all means, let's see.
Fantastic. You know,
it's pretty impressive.
The only issue you'll run into to keep it waterproof, because it is IP66 waterproof, it's going to have a different electrical connection. I'm sure you noticed that, Lee.
Yeah.
You had to run the power new again.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a waterproof connection. That way, you know, if you have an open air vehicle, a side by side or open air Jeep, 4Runner, what have you, you know, you can spray it out. Radio should be fine. You know, nothing's going to get in there, assuming you have the USB-C flap closed. But
there you go.
That's standard for all waterproof items.
You're right on the intuitive part, and I didn't touch on that, but you made me think of something. One of the biggest Achilles heels, I think, when it comes to GMRS and GMRS radios, is people learning how to hit that repeater and do split tones and things like that, and it's a lot easier. Now, obviously, you still have to do some homework on what repeaters you're getting to, because some are private, some are public, and you have to get permission, blah, blah, blah. But just getting the frequency in there and getting that split tone in to be able to reach out and hit that, it's a lot easier than it was before. Or it seems that way to me. I mean, just the way and the buttons feel great. Like those little touch buttons. I like the fact that, like on the 400, you know, you push it in and hold it. To get it to, this one's, you know, it's just done. It's there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys liked it. And you know, we've got pretty good reviews so far. I think we were at like 4.9 stars. We've had nothing lower than a 4-star review, so it seems well received. Obviously, you know, there are some people in the radio community who are kind of curmudgeons, and they're not going to be happy with it no matter what we get. So we've seen a couple of YouTube videos here or there where people have a couple of complaints, but by and large, the feedback we get just what you're mentioning. So
yeah, you can't make everybody happy. Now, here's Rick's got a question, and it says, "Will the 500 need an external speaker?" I can tell you that I don't think so. Now, and Rick, just for reference, I have a Chevy Colorado diesel, and it is mounted on the passenger side of the console. You know, like the console runs this way, and it's mounted, you know, flat up against it, and I hear it fine. And I'm telling you, the tone, it's a little bit more of a deeper. It doesn't have that staticky background high sound to it. I don't really know the proper way to explain it. It just sounds better.
Yeah, well, it's the difference in speaking into like a crappy cell phone versus a really good cell phone.
Yeah, or a microphone.
Like if you think about, it's better than that. But I mean, if you think about that kind of quality, I mean, that's the change. I mean, it's just using better quality, better technology, and the sound sounds good. It sounds more real rather than coming through like a digital kind of thing. I mean, because before it had that kind of static, you'd mess with the squelch. You do all that kind of stuff and try to get it just right. But
yeah, and for Rick too, you know, a lot of people who use a 275, they don't realize that you can have the sound coming out of both the radio and the microphone. So if it's set for just the radio and you have it hidden away, that may be causing the problem of why you don't hear it well. And so, I mean, in the manual, it'll show you how to get it onto both the speaker and the radio. So that may help the sound there.
All right, guys, real quick. We're about 25 after the hour. We're going to say bye to Chris. He's got some more important things to do than to hang out with us guys. So
it's not more important, but let me show you guys what I'm doing.
I'm teasing with you. Know
all
that.
Right, walk around. Let's see it.
All right, let's see here if I can.
Now, the only thing that would make this better would be if he busted his rear on some ice right now.
No, don't wish that on him.
I can tell you what, they don't plow the roads down here, but I've got the.
It looks great, man.
Would call it the Mobile, and then hanging with my buddy and his TJ. We are on our way down to southern Missouri to go camping for, I think it's 4 nights. 5 days. So
just two rigs, or you meet more people?
Just the two of us. 2 rigs. Right. Each of us have a co-pilot. So we're going to go down and camp, and I don't know, try not to freeze to death, I guess.
Well, you guys have a good time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everything you do. I wish Michael and I were going to get to do the rally thing, but we have work to do. And so we'll live vicariously through everybody else, but we appreciate everything you do. Have a good time and be safe, okay?
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, for all those listening, if you guys want to register for the S2M Overland Rally presented by Midland Radio, jump on the MOORE Expo website and just hit that S2M tab, and it'll take you right into the information page. And there's a page to click to register there. We highly urge you to pre-register. If you don't pre-register, it's possible we could run out of shirts, swag bags, patches, stuff like that. So better to claim it, get your name on it, so that way you guys can make sure that you've got all the fun stuff with it.
All right, buddy.
Right on. Thanks, brother.
All right.
Hey,
cheers, guys.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Now it's just us. We got him out of here.
Just me.
Now we can talk bad about him now. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what we like to do. Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing.
But no, man. Hey, first, yeah, like Lee was saying earlier, first, just a big thank you sending the radios out, and you sent us a few X Talkers as well. So having fun with those, and I can't wait to do a review and tell everybody about it. So.
Yeah, have you got to use the X Talkers while you're out there? Because if I remember right, you were using the GXT 1000, and those don't have super great battery life, and they're hard to charge on the road. So that's why.
No, actually, I did a test. I tested up the new ones, the X Talkers, and the other ones, and it charged them. And I didn't turn them on. I just left them sitting, and it was about, I'd say about a week and a half went by. I went out to check them, and the 1000s were all but dead. I mean, not dead, but they were close. The X Talker still had a full charge. Now, that was just sitting there. I haven't done the transmit stuff yet, but I pretty much gave the other ones to my daughter and her friends, and they charge them and use them around the house playing.
Yeah. Well, the GXT 1000, it's a great value, and I know not
it
a
does
lot of
great.
People, and it's got more wattage, more power than the T71. But with that power, it taxes the battery. So
I think it's another one that sounds really good. So we'll take the X Talkers out, and obviously when we're doing recoveries or anything like that, we'll have those on us as we go. But I'm really happy with this 500. Got to say, it was a real shocker to hear that first sound come through that thing. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it just hits you a little different for sure.
It almost sounds like, when you bought a car and it had this is back in the day, I'm going to show my age, but you would buy a car and it had a cassette deck in it and a couple of, 6x9s in the back, and you thought it sounded pretty good. And then the CD player got put in there, and you had a couple Rockford Fosgates, and you turned that thing on, you're like, oh, it's kind of that same thing. I turned it on, and I was like, dang, it sounds so much better. So, pretty stoked about it, and I'm extremely grateful too.
Well, I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds like a compliment. So I appreciate that.
So he's doing that, and I'm thinking it's like going from regular TV to HD to like 4K.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm doing the same thing he's doing. It's good. It's just so much better.
Hey, well, let me ask you this. So do you guys use the radios on narrow or wideband?
I probably more narrow.
More narrow. So do you communicate mostly with like other Midland radios or FRS walkie-talkies, things like that? So that was a big feature that a lot of people asked for, and so I was just curious if you guys use it on wideband. Previously they're all narrow band. And so
I think that's just because I'm not used to having that, but I will. I mean, I know
there's going to be 50 people on here going, "What the hell are they talking about?"
Okay,
so
well, let's
break
let Zach
down narrow band and wide band for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to do it while still being able to convey what's actually going on, and not be too technical.
Okay.
So a lot of GMRS radios, most of them operate in wideband. And what you find is if you're talking to a radio in wideband, you also want to be in wideband to have the optimal communication volume and clarity. So GMRS largely uses wideband. FRS, so like a lot of the walkie-talkies, use narrowband. And us, for years, we had our GMRS radios also use narrowband so they could communicate with our walkie-talkies and have optimal voice clarity.
Right.
People, though, don't just use Midland. So they may be going out with somebody who has a different radio and they want to communicate with a wideband radio and get best reception. And so now they've got that option. So if you're communicating with mostly FRS radios and older Midland products, you can put it on narrowband and the volume will be perfect, clarity will be good. Or if you're with more of other brands and you want to use wideband, you can switch it over and have better clarity. Basically, when you're communicating narrow to wide or vice versa, the volume will be lessened a little bit. That's
the biggest thing. It's just really the volume. I mean, That's why I think a lot of people didn't realize this, is that when you were communicating between each other, I could barely hear you. Well, it wasn't really that the radio wasn't receiving the transmission, or you weren't transmitting at a high enough power, so to speak. It was that volume between the narrow and the wideband that was throwing it off. And I really just figured that out not too long ago. So, Michael.
So, okay. So, do you just switch back and forth to see which is better? What?
Yeah, if you feel like
I'm still okay. You told me what the problem is. How in my radio do I fix that problem?
Well, with both of them, it's fairly easy. It's just a menu, an option in the menu. So, I think on the 500 it says I forget which option number it is, but it says NB for narrowband.
Yeah.
And you turn that off, and you'll be wideband. On the 575, I think it's a little different. I think it gives you two options as far as BW, say BW or something like that, and then you can pick narrow or wide on it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it'll be right there in the menu, pretty easy to switch over. And yeah, you can try them both out if you feel like you're not getting great audio, and it may improve it.
Yep. Now, so the one that I have, the 500, obviously it's out. It's on the website. So for everybody that doesn't know, it's out there. I didn't even have a chance to look, to be very honest with you. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but is it still in stock? Because it looked like the other day it wasn't.
Yeah, it is still in stock right now. Okay. We do anticipate it going out of stock. So, we built as many as we could. We've got more coming. But the demand for it has been and seems to continue to be so high that we anticipate going out of stock sometime in the next couple of months. So,
yeah. So for those of you listening that don't have one, you need to go get it. Now, let's transition a little bit, because I have the 500, which is basically the replacement to the 400. Now, Michael, which has the 575, you don't have that one on the website for sale. It is actually out there, and people can see pictures of it, one thing or another. So, to me, I think the biggest difference is that his can be, remotely mounted, and it has the controls on the microphone. It still has USB-C, fast charge. I think it has all of the same features for the most part, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the two big distinctions are the 575 isn't waterproof, and it's not PC programmable. So the PC programmable part, most people probably won't care about. But the GMR experts, they love it. They want to be able to plug it into their USB, into the USB-C of the radio, and then they can set their channels to whatever, each setting they want. And it's a lot quicker than going through the menu mode, just because you can type in whatever you need to type in. And they also have, the 8 through 14 FRS channels are empty. And so they can program them to whatever GMRS frequency they want. So if you frequent a couple different repeaters, so maybe you'll have a repeater on channel 15 set to this privacy tone and split tone. And then if you go to a different town, you use a different repeater, also channel 15, you can put in, channel 10, have the, settings for that other repeater.
And you can label it. So you label those. There's a label, an option in there. So not only does it say channel 15, but it should give you the label as well.
You can name it. Repeater, whatever number it is, or whatever town it is, and however you want to notate that.
Michael, what's your first impression of yours now?
Well, it was much larger than the 275. The bracket was not the same bracket, so I had a little bit more work.
I got robbed.
It did not fit in the same place that the 275 fits, but I found a good spot. And it sounds like the same kind of spot that you have in the Colorado. I like having the controls on the hands.
Yeah,
the handpiece thing.
I have to admit, that's Zach, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna throw this out here. If you had the 500 base and the handset to the 575, and it was all IP66
and everything,
and programmable, damn. And you know what? I'm saying something that you guys have already thought of, and there's a reason or something, but I have to say that would probably be like the holy grail of GMRS radios.
No, honestly, I hadn't thought of that. I'm not smart enough to think of that, but this is the second time I've heard somebody say that this week to me. So I'm collecting the comments, and I mean, it sounds like that would be a product that people would want, and so we may add it to our.
It'll probably be on the 600. Forward.
Yeah, the 600. Well, I mean, if you think about it here, okay, so here's something for those of you listening that have the 400 or the 275. Think about this. How nice is it if the 275 fits your model, that you can mount that thing underneath the back seat or behind the back seat? You can run a patch cable with a dummy end, and you can, that way you could basically plug it in, and when you're done, you can unplug the handset, throw it in the glove box. Nobody knows you even have it other than the antenna. But if you had the 500 and you could mount it remotely, or you could mount it out, and you had the even though for me, I have to mount the radio down here on the side of the console, I can still sort of see it. It's okay. Microphone up here with the controls on it, less of a chance of taking my vision off the road, but I dig it. And honestly, I like the old 275, but you and I had a conversation of what I did to that. So,
well, and really the way most of us use this radio, we put it on the same channel for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
However long we are with a certain group of people, that everybody's decided we're using whatever channel.
Yeah. Here's a great question for Zach from AJ. The MXT 400, does it have wideband or narrowband?
So out of the box, it does not have those options, but you can go to our website. The MXT 400 has a programming cable called the DBR1. So if you type that into the search bar of Midland's website, it'll take you to the page where you can get that cable, and there's also a link to download the MXT 400 software. Mm-hmm. And you can set it up to have narrow and wideband, and to be repeater split tone capable. Because currently it's not split tone capable as is, but the software will let you get there.
Here's another great question.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the question for those of you that are just listening, the question was, is the 575 also 50 watt? And the answer to that is yes. Yeah.
The noise canceling dust proof microphone is really nice for the MXT 400 as well. Excuse me. Agree.
That's true. And actually, coming out here soon, I've noticed a lot of people so off-roading is a big market for us, but so is farming. And a lot of the off-roaders prefer the 275 with the handles on the mic. A lot of the farmers prefer the 115, which is our 15 watt with the controls on the face. Here soon, we're going to be having an announcement about the dust-proof mic coming standard in some of our bundles. So if you guys do like the dust-proof mic, it's great for farmers because they get a lot of dust and grain in their microphone. So the IP67 dust-proof helps prevent that. And with the background noise of the tractor engine, sometimes they have trouble being heard. So we'll have something like that coming out here very soon. I think it's good for off-roading too, because if you're in an open air vehicle,
even windows down, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, like Jared says that they run the 275 on ram mounts in Kyle's Jeep. Well, when the doors are off. Well, the truth be known, the doors probably fell off. But anyway, that's another show. So,
you want to know something funny about Jared? He actually he's in the Kansas City area too. We live in the same town. He's about 5 minutes from me. So
he's
Jared,
the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy.
He is, and I don't know if you've got that MXT 500 box. If you can hold it up. Turn that around to the other side. Those are Jared's photos in Jared's Jeep. He did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So those are fantastic images he got for us. We loved them so much that they ended up on our box.
Jared, you brown noser. No, we like him. He's a really great guy. He really is. So let's see here. We got a couple of. Let's look. Sounds
my
like
neighbor's dogs are going at it.
Really?
I mean, just like it sounds like wolves are fighting. It's awesome.
Sweet. Maybe one up there, but we use handhelds while doing hay. There you go, Rick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What else? Can't see in the cab tractor because the glare. Midlands are a must for our operation. Hey, Jared. He says, yeah, he's all happy because we showed off his photos. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to save that box, and the next time I see Jared, I'm going to sign it. Yeah, because he's famous.
Perfect. Yeah. So Zach, what have you been up to? I know that you've been, you usually travel and go to different events. What have you been up to since we talked to you last? The high points, and then where are you going after this? What's your next event or next big thing that you're going to?
Yeah, so I've been pretty busy. We launched the 500 on January 11th, so everything leading up to the launch. We've got a fantastic marketing team. You probably you said you met Andrew last year, and we've got Olivia as well, Kaylee and Amanda. I could name them all, but they work together to put this launch into motion. And it was a fantastic launch. We kicked it off extremely effectively. But of course, with the launch and after the launch comes a lot of questions. And so it's just been a very busy time for us, starting to level out a little bit finally. Since seeing you guys, I think I saw you. I was traveling to the KOA event.
Yes.
Campgrounds of America. That was actually the last event I went to. Since then, we've been here, in preparation for the launch. But we're getting ready to go to a few more events. We've got the National Farm and Machinery Show.
Nice.
After that, we'll be at the Western Farm Show. Jeep Jamborees ramp up starting in March. So we'll be going to several of those. And then, of course, we're going to have everybody, all hands on deck for the MOORE Expo. And that's the April 8th through 10th weekend. So
yeah,
we've got a lot coming up. Mostly ag and off-roading events. Those seem to be our two biggest markets. They're off-grid. They need one-to-many communication, and radio just makes sense for it. So those are the two we hit pretty heavy. RV camping and power sports would be a couple of other ones that we're really interested in as well.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Wait a minute. Was Jared saying that he did the pictures on the 575 box as well?
He did, yeah.
That guy, he just gets around, doesn't he?
He's everywhere, man.
Yeah,
he's unstoppable.
When will the 575 come out? Also, is it the same size as the 400? No. I don't think it's the same size.
It's a little bit smaller. The problem with these radios is what takes up the size is like the fan to get the heat out, right?
Yeah.
They get hot, and you have to have a way to cool it. And so, even though the 575 is a little bit smaller than the 500, it's still not like the 275, like you mentioned. It's a honker compared to that. Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, a safety feature just to keep it cool. So there's no issues, and you don't burn yourself using the radio.
Well, and you have to use you're using a different cord anyway, so you're gonna.
So the 575 will use the same power cord because it's not waterproof
as the 400.
Yes.
Well, it won't use the same as the 275. I'll tell you that right now.
No, that's for sure.
When will the 575 be available for purchase? Roughly, just around.
So right now we're saying summer of 2022, but we may have some opportunity to pull that forward. It all depends. There's been a lot. I'm sure you guys have heard about the logistics crisis and all the containers not being available, and supply chain crisis. So we wanted to launch this last June, but these things kind of stacked up on us and a lot of other companies and delayed it a little bit.
Yeah,
we were able to acquire everything we needed for the 500 a bit sooner. That's why we launched it in January, but it slowed down the 575 a little more.
Here's the way I see it. If anybody wants a 575 right now, I'm selling Michael's, and the opening bid is $1,500.
It's already mounted. I don't know what to tell you.
That's $2,000 in. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
It's touched my beard.
It's touched your beard. Okay, well, that's sacrilegious. AJ wants to know if you're going to be in Texas anytime soon. Any shows or events down there?
Texas is a big state. I will be there sometime soon. I'm going to be at the Palo Duro Jeep Jamboree.
Oh, nice.
In Amarillo. Yeah, it's beautiful out there, man. Have you ever been? It sounds like you've been.
I haven't been, but my buddy Philip has, and he was trying to talk me into going when I had my Liberty, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because you're there, and it's just like they call it big sky crunch. It's because everything's flat and there's like no trees, and so the sky just looks huge. And you go from being perfectly flat, and then you pull up to Palo Duro, this canyon, and it's the second largest canyon in the U.S. And so it's just like from flat land to perfect off-roading,
wow,
type of area, and it's incredible.
I've heard of it.
It's pretty much private land, isn't it?
It is, yeah. No, I think
so
this guys are making a killing having off-roading trips out there.
Is that the place they call the Atmos or something like that ranch?
Oh, there is a ranch there. I don't know if it's called Atmos though. I forget what the ranch is called. It escapes me.
Yeah, well, it's not often that you get to go wheel there. It's amazing.
How much? Well, I'll ask you this question because I watched the video just the other day. I stumbled on it. What did you think of the video with Brian and Brad from E3 doing their deal where they went down through the canyon? Because we just mentioned canyon and it just triggered that. Michael, have you seen it? So they did a video where Brian sat at the, I guess, base camp with one unit, and Brad took off with another unit. And how far did they get, Zach? Was it 12 miles?
I don't recall the exact distance, but they put together a great video.
It was a great video.
And I mean, the production quality of that, it was fantastic.
Well, Brian's got a whole production crew that he has that does all that work. So, I mean, you're right. It was well put together. And it was a neat place. I never, obviously never seen it or heard of it, but it seemed like a neat place. But anyway, that was a great video. So if you want to look at a video about, seeing the distance and the obstacles that they had between them, I guess would be the best thing, is go look at that video from Brad at Trail Recon, he and Brian. It was a good video.
Well, right on, man. Well, we've almost done an hour, so let's wind this down. And what's the website everybody can go to get their Midland radios?
Yeah, so our website is midlandusa.com. Same with all of our social media. You can find us at Midland USA. So check us out. Join our Instagram. That's where we get a lot of posts and a lot of people following us. Of course, we're on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else as well. But yeah, midlandusa.com. Check out the MXT 500. Why supplies last. It's an awesome radio, and I can guarantee you won't be disappointed.
There it is. There's the box. Well, thank you so much for coming on again and talking to us about the partnership that you're going to have with MOORE, doing this More to More run, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to hear all the stories that come from that. And so we just appreciate you, man. And I will have some video and everything about the 575 whenever I get a full green light to be able to start releasing that stuff. So, yeah,
that is awesome. I'd be looking forward to that. And, I appreciate you guys having me on again. And I'd be happy to come on anytime. You guys, the hour flies by so quick. You guys, so entertaining and fun to talk to. So thanks.
Well, we appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, real quick. So there's your link to the MXT 500. And Rick wants to know if there's a discount code. If I'm not mistaken, don't you have one in the Overlanding USA Facebook page right there?
I'm not too sure if we have a discount code. So I know we hadn't planned on offering discounts for the 500 because it's in such high demand right now. But
gotcha. Okay.
There you go. Instagram 10. Wow.
There you go.
Your social media people are on point. Now, who's running that for you today?
That's Olivia. So I saw Olivia. She's
love
running.
Olivia.
She's fantastic.
Shout out to Olivia.
So you'll get to meet her at the MOORE Expo. She'll be there. And then I saw Andrew was also on. He's our director of marketing shared services. So
gotcha.
We got the full crew here. I wasn't expecting to have all this support, but they did so great.
Very well. Yeah, I trade emails with her every once in a while. Send her some pictures and everything like that. So appreciate you guys. Lee, thank you so much for pushing all the buttons. Everybody out there, thank you for listening and for watching and for being in the comment. Make sure that you share this to all the groups that you love because they need to hear it. Thank you guys. Whatever you do, make sure that you go all over.